Good morning, YouTube. So today we're looking at my 125 gallon tank that started leaking. The fish have been moved to other tanks and they're just waiting on their home to be resealed. You can see down here where the silicone is not holding good. This tank's pretty old. It's about 15 years old. And it was a slow leak that developed. So I'll be stripping the silicone off and resealing it. I'll show you guys how to do that. Okay, so I'm going to show you the tools we're going to use to remove the old silicone. See where it's all yucky, where it's come apart, right there. So first thing we're going to use a good flat scraper. Make sure it's a new blade. I just put a brand new blade in this scraper. That will allow us to get into the corners and remove all the silicone. And then after the silicone is applied, I'm going to be using this silicone trowel. I got it on Amazon. I've never used one of these before, but we're going to try it. I've seen some other videos where it came out good with that. I've used the tape method to tape off the corners, but that's kind of a pain in the butt, so that's why I'm going to try this silicone trowel. The other thing is, you want to make sure that you use 100% silicone. You can see that says 100% silicone. The GE, or you can use the Marineland Aquarium Sealant. That's what I'm going to be using on this tank. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, hi everybody, I'm back. I've started to remove the silicone, as you can see, using this scraper. One thing to note, if you just take the scraper and cut the silicone, gotta stay open there. Cut the silicone up against the glass, like that. And then on this side, it'll come up pretty easy for you. You can pull it and see how it comes off then. One thing I do not do, I don't take the panes apart, because then you have to completely redo the silicone. The silicone in between the panes here, I leave that and just re-silicone the corners. You see how some silicone's left, so you take the flat scraper here and get it up. It's very important the glass is very clean before applying the new silicone. So I use a scraper like that and get up all the little silicone that's left. You can run your finger along the corner, you can feel the silicone that's left. When I'm finished getting all the silicone out of the corners and scraping the silicone off the glass like this, I will take some steel wool and wet it, and then run it along these corners to make sure all the silicone is out of the corners. That way the new silicone sticks good. Otherwise it won't adhere to the surface. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to finish stripping the silicone off this tank and I'll be back. Okay, something I wanted to tell you guys that I do feel on the sides here to see which pane overlaps which. You can tell the front here is smooth, and then on the side you can feel that lip. So the front pane overlaps the side pane. So what I do on the inside here, I'll show you on the back here. Actually, let me turn around. So we know that the front overlaps the side here. What I do with the razor is score it against the pane that I don't go in the crack. That way the silicone stays intact. So I score it like that. The razor is up against the front pane. I do that so the silicone's easier to remove and the panes do not come apart. So let me finish that and I'll be back. Okay, so I've taken the razor and I've cut the silicone the best I can, as close to the glass as I can. Now, I haven't used these silicone removal tools in the past, but it seems to be very helpful. This sharp part here, you can start getting the silicone out of the corners with it. You see how it just takes all the silicone right out of the corners. And I'll go back. And that's that. I'll go back with the razor, flat razor, and get all this silicone that's still left out of the corner. Like I said, I will not take the panes apart. Alright, well, I'll be back. Okay, something I wanted to point out here, as you're scraping the corners with the razor, I like to scrape like this and then get in the corner like that, all the way down. And as you're doing that, getting all the silicone out of the corners, you get all the silicone, these little bits down the bottom of the tank. I like to use a good shop vac to clean this up as I'm going. That way it doesn't build up and I can feel more silicone that's left. If I leave any, then I can feel it better. If I get all these little pieces out of the tank while I'm doing it. I just use a good shop vac there and vacuum it out. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, so I've finished cleaning the corners out with the razor knife the best I can. Got all the silicone out of the corners. Now, use some steel wool and some alcohol here. Use alcohol because it evaporates and it doesn't leave a residue. Just put a little bit of the alcohol on the steel wool. Soak it pretty good. And then use this in the corners to remove any little bit of silicone that might have been left. So I will do that to all the corners, and then it will be ready to be resealed with new silicone. Hello everybody. So I came to the garage to get my caulking gun, and wanted to show you this on the tip. See, I cut a nice little angle on the tip to let the silicone out. That'll help me get down in the corner really good. Also, very important to note, 100% silicone. Do not use any that has the chemicals in it, the mold resistant stuff. It says Aquarium Sealant by Marineland. That's what I'm going to use. Okay, I'm going to go reseal the tank and I'll be back. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys how to apply the silicone. Remember the angle that we cut the tip? Put it in the corner and keep it at a decent angle. And squeeze and slowly move. Make sure the silicone fills the corner. Get it completely in the corner. Move it up nice and slow. And then we will come back with the tool and make it nice and smooth after I get all the silicone in the corners. Okay, so you can see I've smoothed out the corners. It did a pretty good job. I used this caulking tool and just put it in the corners at an angle and moved up the corners, and it did a pretty good job. Okay, now that we have all the silicone in the corners, I'm going to show you how I'm going to use this caulking tool to smooth out all the silicone. All you do is put it in the corner like this and pull it along. You can see how it's smoothing out the silicone, putting it in the corner nice. Some of it I got to go back over. Paying more attention to the camera than I am the silicone. Anyway, that's how you do that. See, I'm missing a bunch because I'm trying to video. Anyway, that's how you do that. Okay, so now I have all the silicone smoothed out in the corners, looking pretty good. And then just gotta wait for it to dry, and then it'll take at least 24 hours to dry, and then we will do a leak check. That's all there is to resealing a tank.